The other race that has the Republican establishment breaking out in cold sweats in the middle of the night is, of course, the battle for the Republican presidential nomination, where controversial comments don't seem to be making any dents in the leads held by the top two candidates. A new national poll from Fairleigh Dickinson University finding, again, Donald Trump on top, and again, Dr. Ben Carson a strong number two. And Republican primary voters don't right now seem all that interested in the other candidates. According to this poll, Trump and Carson are the only two contenders to crack double digits. Athena Jones is here with me in Washington. Athena, Ben Carson, like Donald Trump, it doesn't seem to matter what he says that upsets people in the communitariat. The voters seem to like it.
That's right. This is one of several things these two candidates have in common, Jake. Like Trump, Carson prides himself on not being politically correct. His supporters say that's one of the things they like about him. And as we saw in his appearance today before the National Press Club, it doesn't look like he's going to be changing his approach anytime soon.
I'm not politically correct. I will not be politically correct.
Ben Carson, facing questions today about a series of controversial statements. The former brain surgeon again tried to explain his concerns about whether a Muslim's beliefs would fit with serving as president.
We don't even want to take the slight chance that we would put someone in that position who had different loyalties.
Carson is also under fire for his assertion that Nazi Germany's gun laws helped make the Holocaust possible.
Just clarify, if there had been no gun control laws in Europe at that time, would 6 million Jews have been slaughtered?
I think the likelihood of Hitler being able to accomplish his goals would have been greatly diminished if the people had been armed.
Critics like the Anti-Defamation League say such statements are historically inaccurate and offensive.
The Holocaust issue, that's just the left-wing press again trying to stir up a controversy. There's been a lot of rain lately.
Carson also raised eyebrows this week for his remarks about the Oregon school shooting.
I would not just stand there and let them shoot me.
He told Wolf he wasn't criticizing the victims, just urging people to fight back.
I would much rather go down fighting.
Carson's chief rival, frontrunner Donald Trump, had a strong message for doubters today, after earlier suggesting he would drop out of the race if his poll numbers plummet.
I give more of a political answer. I'm never getting out.
And the real estate mogul, who polls show ranks poorly with Latino voters, won this unexpected endorsement in Nevada.
I'm Hispanic and I vote for Mr. Trump. We vote for Mr. Trump! Yes! Mr.
Meanwhile, another GOP contender, Ted Cruz, is insisting Trump won't win the nomination.
In time, I don't believe Donald is going to be the nominee, and I think in time, the lion's share of his supporters end up with us.
The Tea Party favorite raised $12 million in the third quarter, a strong haul that will likely help him stay in the fight for months to come. Now, Cruz has proven himself to be a prolific fundraiser, even though he's been polling in the single digits in most surveys. To put this in context, Cruz's campaign pulled in twice as much as Marco Rubio in the third quarter, even though Rubio has been rising in recent polls, outpacing Cruz after his strong performance in the CNN debate last month.
Fascinating stuff. Athena Jones, thanks so much.